Hey everybody, Ron here with Rattling On with Ron. Hey, want to tell you, apologize to you guys. It's been a couple weeks since I've had any videos out, and I'm sorry for that. It's been real hectic at work. It's no excuse, but I'll get back on the ball and start getting some more, 2 a week out from here on out. Coming tonight, 'cause I got an email from a good friend of mine, Amanda. She works down in Phoenix, and she asked me to do something on silica. I believe the question was, Ron, do I need to worry about just the dust blowing around the mine, or do I need to just worry like at the crusher or at the drill? And so we'll get into that, Amanda. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to tie this in with black lung, because silica and black lung, two lung diseases that we don't want around, right? And they are preventable, in my opinion, and that's my opinion only. So for my cold guys out there, we'll talk about black lung, and black lung is real important to me. And today's April 15, 2019. My dad passed away April 15, 2017, so 2 years ago from complications of black lung. So I appreciate this topic, Amanda, and hopefully it'll help you out. But black lung, you guys know what that is, right? It's from breathing coal dust. What happens is you breathe that coal dust in, and it gets way down deep in your lungs, right? And the coal dust isn't as fibrogenic as silica, and so your body can't destroy it or remove it from your lungs. So it gets way deep down in there, and your body tries to get rid of it, but it can't. And as you're trying to cough it up or hack it up, however you say that, it gets around them air sacs, or air passageways, whatever you want to call them, or the bronchial, and what it does is it scars them, and it makes them stiff, and then it's hard to breathe. Okay, so that's how black lung gets in there. And what's bad about this is it takes a while to happen. Okay, so you might be 23, 24, 25 years old, breathing a lot of coal dust and think you're fine, but it's not going to affect you until down the road, maybe 50, 60 years old. So protect yourself. We're going to talk about that a little more. Silicosis, same way, it comes from silica, right? And silica's in, you can get that from mining, of course, glass making, foundries, things of that nature. It's in sand, it's in rock, it's in mineral ore like quartz, so different things like that. 3 types of silicosis. You've got acute, chronic, and advanced. Okay, the acute type, it happens. You can get that within 2 weeks to just a year or so. You can get acute symptoms. And how it affects your body is, you start to cough, you start to hack up stuff, and it just becomes, shortness of breath, hard to breathe, things of that nature. And maybe your lungs even fill with fluid. You can get that stuff going on there. Okay, so that's the acute. The chronic, that's the 10. This is the most common type, right? And it's about 10 to 30 year time frame where you get that. And that's where your lungs actually swell, or your chest lymph nodes swell, and it's hard to breathe that way. Advanced, you can get that within about 10 years, and it's the same symptoms as the chronic. So real bad stuff, right? So how do we prevent it? Or do I have to worry about it? Yeah, you have to worry about it. It doesn't matter if the wind's blowing the dust around, or if you're at the crusher or the drill. Same way with black lung, right? You got to watch where you're at. You got to stay out of the dust. The heavier the dust, the worse it's going to be, right? There's just going to be more in the air, and so you don't want to be breathing that. But you also got to watch for the stuff you can't see. Okay, so how do we protect ourselves, right? If you remember, I did a video not too long ago on respirators. You can use respirators. Okay, but you got to make sure you have the right kind, right? The right filter. Is it for coal dust? Is it for silica? What's it for, right? Remember, I talked about that. The one said dust mask, but it wasn't for silica. Okay, so they can be confusing, so you got to read on them. Make sure you're fit tested. We talked about that, right? Make sure you don't have a beard. Make sure you got a good seal. Things of that nature. Seals on your cabs. Okay, that's another thing. So that's another control. That'd be another engineer. That's an engineering control, actually, where respirators, PPE, and remember that's at the bottom of that hierarchy of control, so we want to go up to eliminate or engineering or substitute. Okay, so remember that. So check your cab seals. You got a pressurized cab, make sure the seal's good. Okay, the door seals. If your door's bent open and dust is coming in, don't run it. Let somebody know. Okay, or put a respirator on. But anyway, get yourself out of that dust. Okay, if the roads are dusty, or what do? We water them. If the conveyor belt's dusty, what do? We put water sprays on there. Stockpiles are dusty, water sprays. Water's a good control. It'll keep that dust down. Okay, so you can use all this stuff. You can have engineering controls, administrative controls. You can have PPE, and you can use them all together to reduce that. Because I'm telling you right now, you don't want to have either one of these. I can't imagine having that, you know, supposed to be in the prime of your life, out elk hunting somewhere for a whole 2 weeks, and you got an oxygen bottle tied to you, and you can't get around very good. It wouldn't be fun. Or doing stuff with your grandkids or your own kids, things of that nature. It's got to be not very fun. So protect yourself. Wear your respirators. Do the administrative controls. Do the engineering controls. Maybe an administrative control would be, you know, I only run the miner for half a shift and then somebody else does. Okay, or I only run the shear half a shift, somebody else does. Okay, that kind of stuff. Another thing that helps us too is our dust pumps that we wear. Your safety department may put an in-house pump on you to check the respirable dust, whether it's coal or silica, right? Or MSHA's going to do that. Main thing is wear it the way they tell you to wear it. I'm not saying people do this, but don't cover them up to try to pass them. I'm not saying people do this. Don't put them inside your shirt so that you pass. You're the one that's breathing that stuff. If we're out of compliance on dust, we're out of compliance on dust. We'll put engineering controls to get to that where we're in compliance, right? So make sure you're doing that. Other good controls of preventative maintenance. Make sure you have sharp bits. Make sure your water sprays are working. Okay, so you guys that are on the downshift, changing bits on the shear or the miner and cleaning water sprays, make sure you do that right so your buddy that's running it isn't sucking that dust. Okay, so, and then you guys running the equipment, when them bits start getting dull, don't run them clear down to the bit block. Stop and change it. There's a reason that's on there, and the sharper the bit, the better it's going to cut the coal and less dust it's going to make, right? Run your water sprays with the right pressure. Don't run your miner, don't run your shear if you don't have enough water pressure or enough sprays. Okay, your vent plan will tell you how much PSI you're supposed to have, or gallons a minute, however you do it, and how many sprays can be working or not working. Okay, so make sure you know that stuff. Just protect yourself, because again, you might be 25 on bulletproof today, but pretty soon you're going to be like me. You're going to be almost 50 and thinking, dang, man, I wish I'd have done stuff a little bit different. Okay, so that's all I got for you today. Amanda, I hope this answered your question, and I hope this helps you guys out. But again, use that hierarchy of controls. Use PPE. Use the administrative. Use the engineering controls. Substitute stuff. Do different things, okay? Protect yourself. That's all I got. You guys go back to work and have a safe shift. And I just want to thank you again for watching Rattling On with Ron.